Alright, so I had a student that sent me an email about a couple problems in 3.4 and 1 in 3.5 they were having issues with. So let's look at number 10 in 3.4, chapter 3, section 4, number 10. And the first thing it's asking you to do is calculate a z-score. To calculate a z-score, what I'm first going to do is find out some information about my data. They said it treated as a population, and so this is all my data, and I just want to find a quick mean and standard deviation of pulses. And so here's my information. What I need is the mean is a 72.33, which is a third, and my population standard deviation is 8.1394. Rounding, try to go as many as you can, but I was going to go to 8.1394, and then 72 and a third is my mean. So now when I calculate my z-score for the actual question, I don't know if there's any shortcut way of doing that, except for using the formula. The formula for finding z-scores is x minus mean over the standard deviation. In your textbook, if you bring that up here, up it comes slowly. So we're in chapter 3, section 4. Maybe. I'm at home, my internet's not as fast as at school. But if we're in chapter 3, section 4, let's look at the formulas that we're working with. And this is the formula that they give us. X minus mean over the standard deviation. So we were just able to calculate the mean and the standard deviation. And so to find the z-score, we're going to have to plug in the number of beats for each one of these values. So we're going to use this x minus mean over standard deviation. This is page 154 in your book. So let's minimize that. So for the first one, if the number of beats is 76, I'd be doing 76 minus 72 and a third divided by the 8.1394. If I am just using, again, you can just use just a basic calculator. I have a calculator on my computer I'm going to use. That, again, if y'all want to download on your computer, you could go to TI83 debugger, and it'll actually let you bring up this download this free calculator. So mine was 76 minus 72.333, and I'm going to divide that number by 8.1394. Oh, I did that wrong. 8.1394. So that gives me an answer of a z-score of 0.4505. I think it wants me to round to 2 decimal places. So let's verify that. Nearest hundredth, so 2 decimal places. So I would just type in 0.45. I'm just going to do that one. I'm just going to, and again, leave the rest for you to do. So let's see if I can fill all these in. And it should let me know that hopefully one of them's right. I'm going to check answer, and it comes up with a formula. And I'm going to check answer again. Let's see if they verify that I had one of them right. Oh, good, 0.45 is right. So I got one of them right. And then the rest, again, I want y'all to be able to figure out just using that formula. Oh, they got 0.48. Uh-oh. Huh. Did I do something bad with my calculations? Oh, 76 minus 72 and a third divided by 8.1394. 0.45. Oh, that's strange. It's making me question if I hit something wrong. Pulse. Oh, I know what the error could be, possibly. Maybe not. Unadjusted standard deviation. That could be the issue. So when I click on mean and the unadjusted standard deviation, so that means I'm looking at the population standard deviation. Let's see if that's going to be the difference. If I change my standard deviation to 7.6739, and this could totally be why I was asked this question. So you got me too, 72.3333. That means it's a great question. We are dealing with a population standard deviation, and so that's why we get 0.48. So the person who asked me was probably getting 0.45, the exact same thing that I did. And the unadjusted standard deviation is your population standard deviation. If we roll back to the book says, here's my population z-score versus a sample z-score. I'm dealing with a population. In StatCrunch, what it is giving me when I calculate this, oh, now I'm all frazzled. Great question. Good. This unadjusted standard deviation is what we're looking for. That just means my population standard deviation. Where the other one they give me, pulse, the other one they give me is the sample standard deviation. Here's my unadjusted. This is my population standard deviation. So this one's a sample, this one's a population. Good. And then now we get those correct answers that they're looking for. So again, great question. If your population standard deviation versus sample standard deviation and the formulas, on one you divide by n minus 1, on the other one you just divide by capital N, which is your population. So that'll fix that issue, I believe. Let's minimize that. And then compute the mean of the z-scores. Then you just take all these values and find the mean. That you could do, you'd have to just use with the basic calculator, add them all up and divide by the 9 students that you have. And you'll probably be finding the standard deviation, I'm guessing, in the next one. So let's look at number 11. Now this one, it breaks it up into 20 percentiles. When I was looking at this one, the 4-star fund is in the 4th quintile because it's broken up into 5 sections. 5 times 20% is 100%. And so that's above the bottom 60%, the 1, 2, and 3-star, but below the top 20%, which is the 5-star. So that's why E should be the correct answer. Excellent. I love when they high-five you on the computer. All right, I'll make another video for the next question, but I hope that helps. And again, that number 10, that's probably the issue. We're dealing with a population standard deviation. So y'all have a good night.